Hey y'all, so I wanted to talk to you today on Claude 101 and how I build event pages, proposals, and social graphics in minutes. So I'm going to walk you through exactly what I do. So just to give a little bit of background about who I am and say hello, my name is Keeley Cherie, and I am the founder of Event Powerhouse Society. And so I am an event planner, and I'm also a certified wellness practitioner, and I have planned corporate, destination, social events, all of those professionally for over 15 years. And I built Event Powerhouse Society for the person behind the business, not just the business itself. So I also spent many years before I owned an event planning company as a marketing operations manager for a Fortune 500 company, which is where my love of smart systems and tools all started. So I'm a little bit obsessed with those things. And so that is why I'm just very passionate about wanting to give event professionals their time back using these tools. I also got a Claude 101 certification through Anthropic, who is the parent company of Claude. And I designed this entire slide deck in less than 20 minutes, which is exactly what I want to show you today. So just to give also a little bit more background around my company name. So Celesta is inspired by my grandmother Celesta and her amazing lemon cakes. And so that is also the inspiration behind the yellow color that you will see throughout my branding. And it just is also a representation of her resilience and ability to take life's lemons and make them into something sweet. So that is the spirit behind everything that we build here. So just to first get into what are the differences between Claude, ChatGPT, and Google Gemini, and which one, you might actually use more of, and, what are the main things that separate them. So I personally hardly ever use ChatGPT at all these days. I only really use it for images. But I use Google Gemini quite a bit when I'm trying to figure out how to do something. So, starting with your writing and your brand voice, Claude really is the best in class. Like, you will be able to tell the difference of how it actually can get very close to sounding like your actual voice with what you put in it. ChatGPT and Gemini can do these too, but sometimes they sound a little bit too technical or just not really like a human voice. And Claude is really great at that. Also, when it comes to like reading long documents, Claude is very good at you can take your messy notes or just different things you copied and pasted from anywhere that's not really in a clean format. It can sort through and understand pretty much what you're trying to say and what you're asking it to deliver to you. And then, best of all, stand out for me of why I use Claude the most is that it has an amazing design studio through Claude Design, which has actually led me to hardly ever use Canva anymore because of the Claude Design Studio that I will show in just a few minutes. And then you have within that, you can create like social media and event graphics that are personal to you. So I know ChatGPT can do this, but everybody has seen the ChatGPT flyers that pretty much you can tell that ChatGPT created it. And the difference with Claude is that you can feed it your, design specific branding, and it will create something that looks unique and special to you. Now, the con that can be associated with Claude is the usage limits. So you cannot use Claude just all day, every day in the way that you can with ChatGPT or Gemini. It has usage limits that reset every 5 hours. And so I will go into that too a little bit more on the different pricing levels. So you have the free level, that you get the sonnet and haiku models, like kind of like the average and then like the quick model haiku. And so you can create projects, artifacts, all of that in the free tier. And then the usage still resets every 5 hours. Pro, which is $20 a month, which is the plan that I have, that gets you access to the smartest model level, which is Opus. Um, and during the time of this recording, also Fable for a temporary amount of time. But you get 5 times more usage. And even though it still resets on that 5 hour time frame, you get access to more usage. But then the paid plan unlocks Claude Design, Claude Cowork, as well as Claude Code. So if you're interested in running like autonomous agents and things like that, you would want to have access to those. And then Claude Max, if you're running the agents a lot, they eat up a lot of your usage. So you would want to upgrade to Max. And then if you are a company, you would want to go to the team account. So first, I'm going to give you all a tour of my Claude account to show you exactly what's in it. But before we get into that, where you really should start from before you build anything in Claude or ChatGPT or anything you're going to use is you want to start with a brand kit that you can tell it exactly what you want and how you want it to look to start with. So this is an example of my brand kit. I'm used to working with these since I worked and I led a marketing department. So this just basically tells you like these are, this is your logo. This is the rules of how your logo should and should not be used within documents. Here are the colors. You want to have the exact formulas, not just saying yellow, but like what shade of yellow. There's many shades. What are the fonts that you like to use? And so you want to have this document that you can feed into Claude so it knows how you want things to look and everything starts looking cohesive. So let's jump into Claude. So when you first get in, it's going to say good afternoon, good morning, whatever time of day, like with your name. And so at a basic level, some people just start here with Claude Chat. Don't want you to do that. What you really want to do is that you want to go into a project. Why? Because with projects, it's like a dedicated workspace where you can input the like information and other documents and things. So where every chat within that project is picking up from the same information. So you would take your brand kit and put it in one of your projects, and then anything you create from there is going to reference your brand kit. So I'm going to show an example first. We're going to start with building event pages. So I just built a very quick landing page yesterday, so this will be a great example to show. So I just started with a prompt of, this is what I'm trying to do. I want to create this type of landing page. I want it to have this. And in 5 minutes, it spit out this landing page. So I did this within chat. So you can do this free inside of Claude today, right now. And so one of the things is that you can actually make this website live from Claude without taking the code anywhere else. So all you would do is publish artifact. The only thing is you cannot change the URL, the link. So it's going to say Claude AI in it, but you could also do like a redirect to create like another URL if you wanted to, or if that doesn't matter to you what the link says, that's fine too. So people can see that public link without having to have a Claude account. So you can create this for free and go ahead and publish the link from there. If you are going to publish it within Claude, I recommend you actually add the pictures. So you see where my logo isn't showing, you would add the pictures as the actual file to put here. But if you are taking the coding and putting it into another website builder, like if you're using WordPress or Squarespace or Wix or something like that, and you're taking the code from here to somewhere else, you want to put in any images as a link. And so that's why it's not showing here because they are links. But when you go to where you actually put it in, this is like the page where I actually put it in, you'll see it actually does show up. So this is just a basic page. Again, I just told it in 5 minutes. This is like what I want to create. And you see it's pretty straightforward of, the information that I wanted to put in with, a contact form. So I'm going to show you the difference of doing the same thing, but using Claude Design, which is on the paid plan. So when you go into Claude Design, it's going to give you, here's all the different options of everything you can create. You can create a mobile app. You can create deck slides. You can create resumes and update those, an HTML email, a flyer, all these different things you can create in Claude Design. So you want to take your design document, and the first thing you want to do before you make anything in Claude Design is update the Claude Design system. So that's basically, if you ever worked in Canva, it has like a brand kit in Canva so that everything would have your colors. But if you already created it, and I have a template for this, if you already created it, all you do is upload it and it pulls all the information in. And as you can see, everything for Event Powerhouse Society is in this design system. You could actually have multiple design systems, and you don't have to select this design system every time. So I'll show you too the difference between something I created for myself and something I created for a client. So now going into, you can see a event landing page that I created, and you'll see the difference between the basic one I just showed you and the free version of chat. And you can see how this is like a little bit more, interactive. It had a countdown timer, so this event has ended, so it ended, but you can just put into the chat here if you want to extend it, change the dates, like anything you want to change. You don't have to type, you don't have to encode, you just type it in and it makes the changes in minutes. You put in any links that you want it to link to, and it will update everything for you, ready to go. So again, you could also publish this website where it says publish as an artifact, and that can be a running website right now for you to use. You don't have to take the code anywhere. So it can be just good as is for you to start getting your website done today in 20, 30 minutes if you wanted to update it, or you want to create a quick landing page for, for events or for any digital products you may be selling. The sky's the limit. Then I'm going to show you this example as well. So this is an example of a client website. So this was for a wedding, and this is like basically for their wedding website that has all the details for their guests. So they have a specific file for their wedding monogram, and you can see, this is, the information about their story that we put in. And this was just information I just copied and pasted really quick in here about them. You see there's like some animation here. Um, put in information like about, where the location of everywhere is going to be, directions, all of that good stuff, common questions. And you can see this design is completely different than this design. So that is the benefit of using Claude, that it's like everything doesn't look the same. Then from there, whatever you create, you can say, I also want to create social media graphics. This is the most amazing part. And so this is an example of like the launch graphics I wanted to create for Event Powerhouse Society. So everyone says like, oh, Claude, can't create images, and it actually can. So they've been updating things as they go. And so you can download these as images. So you have these that are sized to work for Instagram. And I also wanted like a grid that I could pin of like, the three that kind of go and, stay at the top of your Instagram feed posts and all of that. So it created that for me. And then also any emails that I wanted to send out, it created 7 or 8 different versions of email headers that I could plug into my emails that I could just quickly download. And then lastly, I also wanted to show, when you're creating your proposals for clients, I've been able to create slide decks in like just a few minutes, just telling it exactly what I want to put in. And I don't have to tell it how to design everything. I just tell it what I want. And it creates these beautiful proposal templates and information of things that I want to put in, and it stylizes everything for me without me having to do anything. And you can edit. So you can click this button if you want to edit the text. You don't have to export it to Canva because sometimes when you do that, the formatting changes. You can edit right in here. If you want to add images, you can add images right in here. You do not have to go to a separate platform. Okay, so that is just a quick overview of everything that I use currently. Well, I use more than that, but just as it relates to events and what you might be able to use it for. So now I want you to go create something. So I thank you for spending this time with me. You do not have to master everything about AI and Claude like overnight. So you just have to start somewhere and give it something to do. And if this was helpful and you want more of a step-by-step, I do have a free Claude 101 workbook PDF. And so that is below this video, and you can get it by completing the form, and it will be emailed to you right away. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope you find some new ways to use Claude to help you in your business and design something beautiful.